Long awaited, highly anticipated, man. What's happening with y'all? Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. You know, we gonna get straight to it, man. Let me adjust this shit, man, so y'all can get the right view of a pimp. Y'all already know, man. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. What I mean by that, hit that like button, man. It's the only thing a pimp asks when you step up in here, man. We getting straight to it. Hold on. Okay, yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Like I said, wipe your feet off at the door, please, and thank you when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that thumbs up, that like button, that icon, it look like that. And y'all already know, man, first order of business. Before we get into this game, we gotta put some love in our body, man. Hit a pimp with the splash emojis, man, if you putting some love in your body with me right now. Let me see them splash emojis, man. Yeah, man. Got to put some of this shit in us. This shit right here gonna love you even when you don't love it. How could you not love that? Yeah, man. That's right. Put them splash emojis up. Hanuman Ashram. I hope I'm saying your name right. Appreciate you for the $5 holla. Yeah, man. Okay, man. We gonna get right into it, man. You know, I just wanted to chop game with y'all for a brief moment this morning. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just wanted to chop some game with y'all. You know, I know I ain't been live in a minute. I ain't put no content up in a minute. You know how life do, man. You know, just like y'all got lives to live, pimp got life to live too. And sometimes my life gets me away from creating content. But nonetheless, I'm back giving it to y'all once again. But Ray Gunn, as always, good looking with the $2 holla, bro. But yeah, you know, I just wanted to the game told me to speak on this, man. The game moved me to speak on this topic of over sweating. You know, as times change, you know, things evolve, the game evolves, you know, but the fundamentals pretty much stay the same. That's the way I see it. But the outlooks on life, the outlooks on the game evolves, and people see things differently, and therefore they move differently, they behave differently, they treat one another differently, meaning, you know, those of us in the game, you know, people treat one another differently. Don Ducci, good looking with the $5 holla. And you know, the outlook of the game is crucial, because it's gonna dictate how you behave in the game. How you see is how you gonna be. In order to see big, in order to be big, you gotta see big. In order to be right, you gotta see right, so on and so forth, right? So this thing of over sweating, I've been hearing it more and more lately. Once upon a time, I never heard of this shit. And y'all already know, Free's been around for a long time. And once upon a time, I had never heard of such thing called over sweating. But I've been hearing that more so really the past couple years, but especially this year, I've been hearing the over sweating terminology a whole lot. And for those of y'all unfamiliar with this lifestyle, you know, when this young lady's down on the blade, the track, or what have you, right? They subject to a sweating. A sweating is, you know, 1P endeavoring to have another young lady added onto his household, his stable, or what have you, right? And oftentimes, the young lady that the P is sweating or pursuing belongs to another gentleman or is in the household of another gentleman in the game, right? So, what happens is when one P sweats another P's chick on the blade, if that chick decides to choose up with that P that's sweating her, y'all know how the game go. You know, y'all done seen the Mac, even though everything wasn't accurate in the Mac, but that part of the game is correct. You know, where we serve one another. When you knock a cat for his chick, man, you serve him. You give him the news. You give him that phone call. Let him know, you know, the young lady decided to be with me. She's safe. She ain't in jail. She ain't dead. She got new representation, so, you know, you don't have to concern yourself with her anymore. This is how the game goes, right? And one thing about this lifestyle that's no different from any other lifestyle or anything else in life, period. When you involve yourself in this, it would be wise of you to take the bitter with the sweet. It would be in your best interest to take the bitter with the sweet. There is nothing that you can involve yourself in life, whether it be work, intimate relationships, friendships, what have you. There's nothing that you can involve yourself in life that's just going to be sweet all the time with zero bitterness. Every relationship you have, even if it's with your mama that you love dearly, your girlfriend, wife, 304, whatever. If you continue with those individuals long enough, there is going to be some bitterness. Nothing is always sweet. And this game is no different. But you have individuals who move as though, you know, they can pick and choose the sweet parts of the game and do the Barry Sanders, you know what I mean, the swim move. You know, they try to sidestep the bitterness of the game, right? You got to take the bitter with the sweet, good, bad, and ugly. You got to accept it all, right? So what that means is, when you got a young lady down on that thing, man, you know, she's subject to a sweating, man. You know, other gentlemen in the game they gonna be after her, man. Especially if you got somebody that's active and attractive, as we say in the game. This active meaning, you know, she's in hot pursuit of somebody's loot, and then attractive meaning, you know what I mean, she's pleasurable to the eyes, to the eyes. You dig? If you got young ladies like that that's down, man, you know, cats is gonna pursue her. And this is just one of the, you know, somewhat bitter parts of the game that you just gotta accept when you in this game, right? And me, myself, I never had a problem with that. Just speaking for myself, right? And I guess it has a lot to do with the type of guy that I was before I got in the game, man. Even before I got in the game, you know, when my pimping was in hibernation, man, you know, for the first 25 years of my life, my pimping was in hibernation. It always was there. It was just hibernating, man. And when my pimping was in hibernation and I was dealing with square females and, you know, square relationships, I don't even know how to be jealous. I don't know how that shit feel, man. You can give me an instruction manual on how to be jealous, and I'm not gonna be able to read that shit. I'm not gonna be able to comprehend that shit. And that's a big part of what I believe it has to do with, man. Jealousy. You know, you don't want to see no other guy talking to your chick. You don't want to see no other guy, you know, putting his Mac hand down with your chick. You dig? So, like I said, because I was that way before getting active in the game, once I became active in the game, you know, other gentlemen in the game sweating my chick, it never fazed me. You know, I've been around a long time, man. I've been around, you know, since 07, man. And nobody in the game can tell you, yeah, I was sweating this chick, man, and Freeze came out of nowhere talking about let her work. Freeze came out of nowhere threatening me. Freeze came out of nowhere trying to give me instructions instead of giving her instructions. Freeze came out of nowhere, man. It's like the hoe put the bat signal in the air, the Rockefeller sign in the air, you know what I mean? And Freeze just popped up out of nowhere with his cape on and his mask on, you know what I mean? Talking about step away, you know, back away from the broad. Nah, man. You know, I don't know how that shit feel. I don't know how to do that. Like I said, you can give me an instruction manual, a how-to booklet on how to be jealous, or, you know what I mean, protect a hoe, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not even going to be able to read that shit. I'm not even going to try to read it. I'm not even going to, you know, waste my time and energy trying to figure out how to be jealous, because it's not even of interest to me, right? So, but yet and still you have a lot of cats in the game that it's obvious to me that they were these types of guys before they got in the game, right? So now you have a thing that's going around, that's common in the game now, called over sweating. What do they consider over sweating? Hey, from the way I see it, just about anything. Any type of acknowledgement from another gentleman in the game to your female, these dudes is considering it over sweating. You know, now, one example of this can be, and mind you, right, as I've said before plenty of times, just because I don't subscribe to certain methods doesn't mean that I condemn those methods or that those methods are wrong. They just not my methods. But my way ain't the only way of doing things. As we all know, man, it's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So some of these things that people consider over sweating are things that I would not do. Nonetheless, I understand that it's all fair. You know, one example of this could be, you know, because 9 times out of 10, most blades, some blades can be an exception, right? But most blades, the only people you're gonna see on foot is the chicks, the females that's down getting to it, right? 9 times out of 10 on most blades, those the only ones that's gonna be on foot. The police gonna be in the car riding around. The trick's gonna be in the car riding around. The pimping is gonna be in the car riding around. The only one 9 times out of 10 on the foot is the chick, right? So, but you have instances where guys will get out of their car and get to popping it at the broad on foot. Now they on her heels, right? And you got a lot of guys that will consider that over sweating. As I've said before, right? As long as he's not harming that young lady or physically touching that young lady, and she's in pocket, mind you. See, if she get out of pocket, that's a whole nother, I'll get to that in a minute, right? But we talking about an in-pocket female. If this chick is in pocket and a dude ain't touching her, he's not trying to bring harm to her, or he's not interfering with her pursuit of the loot, meaning he's not interfering with her getting at a trick in order to break this trick, get some ends out this trick, right? If he's not doing one of those things, then it's all fair, right? But you got these dudes, like I said, if you jump out the car and you get on their broad heels and you walking her down, you can have your hands behind your back. You can be real smooth and respectful, right? But you just wanted to get up close and personal with the chick. And you in her ear, you know, telling her what you believe she need to hear. And you got dudes that'll see you getting at their chick like that, and they'll consider that over sweating. But see, what's contrary to the game about that for me is that you concerned about what you doing, you concerned about what the next gentleman in the game is doing, but you not concerned about what the broad is doing. What is the broad doing in this instance? What is the chick doing in this situation? Because if you focus on what she's supposed to do and get her with a thorough understanding, as Sinful likes to say, an outstanding understanding of what she's supposed to do, then you won't have to worry about anything, and you won't have to concern yourself with what the next P is doing. Because guess what, man? I've experienced that. I've had cats jump out the car and get on my female's heels, man, and walk her down and all of that, right? I've experienced this before. But guess what, though? Somebody fucking with me is going to have instructions. They're going to have game. Because as we know, it's more to this game for a female than getting some money. It's more to it than offense. It's more to it than scoring. You know, your defense got to be on point too, right? And there's several different ways that a chick can get out of that situation respectfully, right? But it all boils down to instructions. And that's one thing, right? That's one thing that cats consider over sweating. A pimp getting out the car, getting on the chick's heels, and getting up on her, you know, up close and personal on foot, right? That's one thing that these dudes is considering over sweating. The next thing that they consider over sweating, Adam Guy, good looking with the $50 holler, man. Much appreciated. Topside Reese, good looking with the $5 holler. Blacker Love, good looking with the $10 holler. Gap Tooth Gains, good looking with the $2 holler. Blue Hundred, good looking with the $5 holler. I appreciate y'all. Number two thing that cats consider over sweating is if the chick is on the corner and, you know, a cat pull up, popping it at her, and she walk this way, he riding this way, you know what I mean? As New Money like to say, Free Money, excuse me. As Free Money like to say, she do the whole spin. She do the whole spin and go that way, and Pimpin' put the car in reverse. He's still at her, you know what I mean? Then she walked this way again. He put the car back in drive, and he doing all of that. And then, you know, he might spin the block 5, 6, 7, however many times, and he continues to do this, right? Some cats would consider that to be over sweating. And some cats that got a female down, they cannot stand the sight of another gentleman in the game, you know, popping it at they broad, putting the car in reverse, continuing to pop at her, spinning the block, coming back around, popping at her some more. Some dudes, they can't stand it, man. So they gonna run a pass interference, man. They gonna rough the passer, man. They gonna run up on you and say, "Hey P, let her work. Hey P, you over sweating the broad. Hey P, you interfering with my money, man." Mind you, the chick ain't said nothing to Nan Trick the whole time Pimpin' is getting at her. And if she do say something to a Trick, you know, Pimpin' gonna do the Fat Joe and lean back on her ass and let her do what she do, man. You know, but these guys, man, they just can't stand the sight of somebody saying something to their chick. That's what it all boiled down to, man. You dig? So, like I say, one reason is jealousy. And a lot of guys come into the game with this seed of jealousy already in them. They've already experienced jealousy prior to them being in the game. They had a little female that they was digging on, you know, and they might have went to the bar or the bathroom, and then they came back and some dude was hollering at they broad, and now they want to fight the dude. As if the dude know who they is. The dude is supposed to be their homie and respect him, and all this stupid ass bro code bullshit. Yeah, that bro code shit, that you know, that shit is overrated, man. You know, at least for those of us in this game. You know, if it's somebody that you fuck with, I understand the bro code, but just this general ass bro code that y'all be trying to put on everybody. I don't know you, never met you, can't say one thing about you other than what you look like, but you supposed to respect the bro code because that's my girl. Hey, man, forget all that, man. You dig? The bro code is with somebody that you really tight with. somebody that you got love and respect for. I can understand that. You know, then y'all's people's are supposed to be off limits. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, you know, I had somebody tell me that bullshit one time. You know, somebody that I've never met couldn't tell you what they look like if they was walking past me down the street. You know what I mean? Telling me I'm supposed to respect some bro code, man. That shit is hilarious. You dig? I've been popping it so much, man. I ain't even put no damn love in my body, man. Go ahead and put some of this good old love juice in your body like so if you have not done so, man. And hold on, man. It's 211 of y'all in here. But you mean to tell Freeze that only 134 of y'all have wiped your feet off at the door? Come on, man. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. What I mean by that, hit that like button when you come up in here, man. Step out the chat real quick. Hit that like button. Come back inside the chat. We're going to be right here. We ain't going nowhere. You dig? But yeah, man. Like I said, it's a few things that make cats this way, right? That makes cats have a problem with somebody getting at their female on the blade and they want to call this over sweating shit, right? Like I said, one of them is jealousy. Another thing is, you know, a lot of cats in the game, they come from a different lifestyle. You dig? And a lot of cats that's in the game, the type of lifestyle they come from is like the dope game, for instance, right? And as we know, oftentimes in the dope game, it's territorial, right? Or, you know, gang banging is territorial too. You know, if you in a gang, if I'm in a gang and this is my block, and some people from another gang come over here and try to take over my block, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with that. Because this is my block. Y'all can't come over here and take this from us. This our shit. So we gonna get into it about that, right? That's the gang banging. Same thing with the dope game. If this is my corner, if this where I'm serving at, and everybody around here got an understanding that this is my corner, this is where I serve at, and you come over here and try to infringe on my turf and try to, you know, take away from my customer base, you know what I mean? And you trying to cut into my clientele and all that, you trying to shortstop me. Yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with that because this is, you already know this is my corner. You know this space is occupied by me already, right? So you understand the terms of engagement. So, you know, you already know that if you come over here trying to serve where I serve at, you know we're gonna get into it, right? That's understood on both sides. But what a lot of cats don't understand, when you transition from gangbanging into this lifestyle, or when you transition from the dope game into this lifestyle, you got to go through a mental metamorphosis. Your mind has to be reconditioned. Your mind has to come anew. Your whole outlook and understanding on life got to be different now, right? And if you really want to be about this life, because see, some cats is only in the game for the money, man. You know, but it's a whole lot of other things you could do for money. Some shit you could probably do and get more money than being involved in this shit. But this is something that you got to really be about, though. It's not something that you just do. It's who and what you are. See, pimping is who and what I am. It's not just what I do. That's who I am and what I am. The pimping. It's not just something that I do. Right? So, if it's who and what you are, then you got to, when you get involved, you got to take the time to get the right understanding of this shit. And when you passionate about being this, you gon' do that. It's just like anything else. If you interested in sports, right? If you like basketball, you see basketball being played for the first time, and it just blows your mind. You a little kid. You just so fascinated with this sport. you want to get involved, right? You're going to take the time to understand the game because you want to play it right. And you can only play it right if you're going to play it with other people. Because everybody in the game has an understanding that these are the fundamentals, these are the rules, and if we're going to play together, we got to follow these rules, and we got to play with the same understanding. Our styles may be different, you know what I mean? You may finger roll, he may sky hook, I might have a cold jumper, you know what I mean? This other individual, he might have a mean inside game, you know, but we all have an understanding that in spite of these different styles, these are the rules. These are the fundamentals of the game, right? And if you think about any other game in life, this is what people do. If somebody want to get involved in business, if they have a certain type of business field that they want to get involved in, they're going to be passionate about it to the point where they want to understand it so they can do it right and do it to the best of their ability, right? So it's the same thing with any sport, any just anything you involve yourself in life, right? So this game is the same way. If you in it for more than just making a few little dollars, you're gonna take the time to understand this shit and do it right. And within understanding it and doing it right, you stand to make more money than you probably expected. You know, because you should be playing a long game with this shit, man. You should want to last. You should want to stick around in this shit. And if you go about it right, you could last. You could stick around in this shit, man. You know? But a lot of cats, you know, they want the instant gratification. They want to just add water. They don't even want to stir the shit. They don't even want to do this. This is doing too much. They just want to add the water and then voila, pimping, hoeing, big money. They don't even want to stir the shit. They don't want to shake the shit. They don't want to do any of that. All they want to do is just add water. Now I'm balling. Now I'm shining. Now I'm flexing on the gram. You know, everybody think I'm the man. That's what they want, right? They don't even have a concept of process. They don't want to respect the process, let alone have a concept of it, right? But this is the game, though, right? But like I said, these cats who subscribe to this over sweating theory, these is the dudes who they was either jealous boyfriends before they got in the game, jealous husbands before they got in the game, you know, territorial gangbangers before they got in the game, and they treating the hoe like they dope sack or they hood. They treating the hoe like they neighborhood park. They treating the hoe like they neighborhood liquor store. They treating the hoe like they projects. They treating the hoe like they hood, like they corner. You know what I mean? They treating the hoe like where them and they homies kick it at. You dig? They treating the hoe like, you know, this is where we shoot dice at. You know? That's how they treating the hoe. You know? And they treating her like, you know, like the dope sack. They treating her like the corner. And they don't want nobody saying nothing to their corner. They don't want nobody saying nothing to their dope sack. They don't want nobody saying nothing to their hood liquor store. They don't want nobody saying nothing to their hood park. They don't want nobody saying nothing to their block. They don't want nobody saying nothing to their projects. You see a hoe. They see their projects. They see the hood store. They see the hood park. They see the dope sack. You know what I mean? You see a hoe. They see something totally different. They see their girlfriend. They see their wife. Like Melvin on Baby Boy when he like, yeah, this my woman. That's what they see. You know, you see a hoe down, getting to it. You know what I mean? They got options around here. They could do some choosing whenever she feel like it. And she's of her free will to do so whenever she feel like it, right? And with who she want to choose with, right? This what you see, because you some pimping. But him, he Melvin on Baby Boy, this my woman. You know? This ain't his hoe, man. This is his woman. So that's where the conflict come in, and that's where this whole over sweating shit come in, man. And the cold part about it, these dudes that'll get at you about over sweating, they gonna over sweat yo broad harder than you over sweating they broad. You know? It's just crazy, man. Straight nonsense, man. You know? But like I said, this shit's supposed to be smooth, man. You know? And a big part of the smoothness in this game is taking the time to focus and be the best instructor that you can be for this young lady. If you instruct this young lady the way that you are supposed to, the way that you were appointed to, then you won't have to worry about nobody doing no type of over sweating or none of that. You know what I mean? Because this is another thing about these dudes that be saying this over sweating shit, right? Because they don't give these chicks no instructions. When you stand for less, you fall for more. When this chick don't stand for instructions, she falls for being out of pocket, right? That's another part that they ain't even gonna tell you. They don't even want to ask Pimpin no questions. They don't even want to have a conversation with Pimpin. They don't even want to know, hey, P, why'd you jump out on the bitch and walk her down like that? They don't even want to know, hey, P, why you keep circling the block and sweating that hoe? It's 50 other bitches down, but you keep circling the block sweating my hoe. Why is that? It's other good-looking chicks around here. It's other chicks around here getting money. Why you done spin the block 5, 6, 7 times getting at mine, the one that's fucking with me? They don't even like think about that. They don't even wonder why. All they know is that they don't want you getting at they broad. But you know, when you let the spirit of pimping deal with you, man, when you being led through this game by the spirit of pimping, you gonna pride yourself on the instructions that you give this chick, right? You gonna make it your business to give this chick the best instructions that you could give her. Not only to be profitable monetarily, but to protect herself. To protect herself from harm. Cause see, this shit go deep, man. You know, by you not instructing this chick properly, she gonna be out of pocket, cause she don't even have no concept of that. She's gonna be disrespectful towards tricks, or she's gonna neglect certain things when dealing with tricks. So she's not gonna be as safe as she can possibly be while she's down, because she don't even know how to deal with tricks. So she gonna be offensive without even knowing she's being offensive. She gonna put herself in harm's way. She's gonna provoke things in her mix without even understanding what she's provoking. She gonna be out there poking bears that she don't even realize she poking, because you ain't gave her no type of understanding about this game. You ain't gave her no instructions. So she's setting herself up for failure in so many different ways. You know, she gonna get snatched up and catch a case because you didn't give her no proper instructions. See, now, granted, some things are inevitable. You know, again, like I said, you got to take the bitter with the sweet. Nothing is always sweet. So because nothing is always sweet, part of that bitterness for a hoe is she might have certain altercations, undesirable altercations with tricks. She might get arrested. You know what I mean? Something might happen to her between her and some other pimping, right? But she minimizes that when she got the right kind of instructions. As I say all the time, the best weapon that a hoe could take to the blade with her, or take to work with her, period, is game. Game is the best weapon. When you got proper game, you don't need a knife. You got hoes that be down with knives, and you got hoes that be down with pistols. Hoes really be down with pistols. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say too much, but it's certain things to look for and pay attention to that will let you know if it's a high likelihood that a hoe got a pistol on her. You just got to be involved in the game to be able to observe and pay attention to certain shit. Well, there have been situations where, you know, because her folks didn't instruct her properly, he put a pistol in her hand, or she might have came and already had a pistol, and he let her keep on getting down with this pistol. And she don't have no understanding about being in pocket. And she's naturally a disrespectful chick who come from a mother who was disrespecting her father that she never knew, and disrespecting all her boyfriends and her own father, the girl's grandfather, and so on, uncles, everybody. So now she don't have no type of respect for men, and she ain't been given the right understanding about this game and how to respect the pimping. So naturally she gonna be disrespectful, just like the tree that she fell from. And when she get disrespectful with pimping, a lot of times pimping gonna want to check that. But what pimping don't know is that this bitch got a pistol on her. Pimping don't know she got a knife on her. But see, all of that shit is unnecessary when you give proper instructions. When the hoe go to work with some game. The game is the best weapon that she can protect herself with out there. Because when she got the game with her, when she toting the game with her, she's gonna avoid a lot of situations. You know, that bitch with that pistol, she thinks she tough. So if she think that can't nobody do nothing to her, can't nobody hurt her because she got this pistol, why be respectful? Why I gotta respect him? I could shoot his ass if he try to do something to me. So why respect him? On the other hand, you know, I'm gonna respect myself, and I'm gonna respect my folks, and I'm gonna respect this game and represent this game properly. So when pimping get at me, I'm gonna stay in pocket. That way I won't have no problems out of pimping. I won't have no problems out of pimping. Because I'm gonna stay in pocket. And I'm gonna be in a hoe's place, which is in a trick's face. Hoes don't belong in other hoes' faces. That's another thing. Hey man, another reason why a lot of you dudes' girlfriends be getting over sweated is because they be out there moving weak. See, one thing pimping respect is a strong hoe. Pimping respect a hoe that's really getting to it. A hoe that's getting busy. And the way it's supposed to be, hey man, that hoe supposed to be getting so busy, man. By the time pimping come around, pimping might be riding and see a bitch and be like, oh damn, who is that bitch? Let me get up close and see who that is. And then by the time he spin around the corner and come back, that bitch, she done did the Houdini. Not the Houdini, but the Houdini. She done disappeared on everybody. You know what I mean? And she gonna reappear with a trap after she done broke this trick, right? So that's what's really supposed to be going on. But, and pimping is gonna respect that, right? But oftentimes what's going on the blade is instead of being in a hoe's place, which is in a trick's face, these chicks, they want to be in another hoe's face, right? And that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of, you know, a faulty program. Because anybody that's really doing some pimping, if you riding the blade and you see your bitches in a group of like 10 bitches and 2 or 3 of them is yours and they all just huddled up running their mouth, a real pimp gonna pull up and be like, hey bitch, if you bitches don't move around, and they ain't even gonna say nothing. They gonna, because they already know they've been properly instructed. So now they being disobedient. But pimping gonna check that shit though. Pimping gonna pull up, hey, the fuck is y'all doing? He ain't even gonna have to say too much. Oftentimes, pimping ain't even gonna have to say nothing. As soon as they see that they folks is right there, them bitches gonna be like, and they gonna get on. And they gonna get back to it. Because they not out there to socialize. In a group of 10 bitches. You know? They get into the money. But when pimping see groups of bitches huddled up socializing, you know, that gives pimping the inclination to get at these bitches. Because he sees where they going wrong. And he knows how he can put them on the right path to going right. He understands what she needs. And it's gonna look like, damn, this bitch over here socializing with bitches every time I see her. She ain't got no instructions. She ain't got no proper instructions. She ain't properly getting pimped on. She needs somebody like me in her life. Let me get at her. Let me put this game in her face and see if she want to make a better choice. Because obviously the choice that she made ain't the right choice if she got time to be over here socializing. She's not even inspired to go get no money. She's not even motivated to go get no money. Yeah, she need to hear what I got to say. Right? But once again, when that hoe is properly instructed, you don't have to worry about pimping seeing her in a group of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bitches, and then that makes him want to go get at her, and then he see that she the weakest link, you know what I mean, because she always following the next bitch. That's another thing, you know. You got them type of hoes that be on the blade. They befriend another hoe, and they just want to latch on, and next thing you know, she following her around. She following the next bitch around like a little puppy dog, like a little lost puppy dog. And then when that hoe catch a date and get busy, she gonna find another hoe to follow around. And so on and so on. And Pimpin' sees all of that. He like, damn, every time I see this bitch, she following bitches around. 5 minutes ago, she was following that bitch down that way. Now she following this bitch this way. An hour ago, I seen her following another bitch down that way. Every time I see this bitch, she ain't never talking to a trick. She just following bitches around. Yeah, she obviously in the wrong situation. She obviously ain't got no proper instructions. She obviously need to hear what I got to say. She obviously need to get an earful of this all-you-can-hear buffet game that I got for her. You dig? And so, then he gonna be sweating her. He gonna be doing his best to divide and conquer that. Separate her from the bitch that she following around. Then once he get her separated, he finna blast her ear off. And yo, non-instructions given ass, you see him sweating your broad, and now you got a problem. Let her work when she don't even know how to work. P, you interfering with my money when she ain't even out there to get no money. She out there to socialize. She out there to listen to 42 Doug on the phone and Sauce Walker and Mozzie. You know what I mean? All this shit. She got the phone up to her ear. You know, that's what she out there for. She out there to socialize. She out there to get sweated by pimps because she likes the attention. She ain't got no instructions. And you over here, you know, mad because pimping is over sweating her. You want to put the pressure on the pimping. You want to put the pressure on yourself. You want to put the pressure on everybody but her. Why you can't put no pressure on her, man? You scared you're going to blow her? And I love putting the pressure on, man. Because if they blow off a little bit of pressure, you might be getting rid of a big old problem. Hey, man, I love it when they sweat mine. Because it lets me know what type of chick I got. It lets me know if she really fucking with me or not. You know? I be telling them all the time, hey, man, please sweat mine. That's if they even find out who mine is. If they just so happen to find out who mine is and they know who mine is, hey, man, sweat mine. Please sweat mine. I would love for you to sweat mine. Yeah. You could get out the car, walk her down, you know what I mean? Spin the block 20 times, 200 times, you know what I mean? If you see her ad on Mega or whatever, hey man, text her 1,000,000 times. Sweat mine. Because I want to know, you know, what type of individual I got. I want to see how well she can follow my instructions. I want to see how well she can play defense against your pimping. Yeah. Because that's what she's instructed to do. She's instructed on how to play defense against your pimping. And that's called staying in pocket. You know what I mean? I want to see how well she do that, man. So please sweat mine. And guess what? These dudes who always trying to interfere with the pimping, sweating their game, and every time she might be this close to getting a little bit of pressure put on her ass. You come, you know what I mean, do the Bruce Smith, you know what I mean? You come do the Junior Seau and tackle the pressure away from the bitch. You know what I mean? You don't even know who you dealing with and what you dealing with. And because you don't know who you dealing with and what you dealing with, you might be carrying a case around with you. You might be carrying some charges around with you. Just imagine that. Every time this chick is about to get sweated, you come, you know what I mean, with your cape out, you come do the Superman, you come save the day, and you going to eat with somebody who going to potentially put charges on you because you don't know if she's strong or weak or any of that. So because you won't allow the game to show you what she's made of, hey man, you going to eat with somebody who's going to put charges on you every day. You laying down, getting intimate with somebody that's going to put charges on you all the time. You taking somebody around your kids that's going to put charges on you all the time. You done introduced your mama to somebody that's going to put charges on you. You don't even know what you dealing with because you scared to let Pimpin' sweat her. All you think about some little bitty money and your ass finna be locked up. And when you get locked up, you still ain't even gonna understand how you didn't see it coming. Because you ain't put no pressure on that chick. You don't know what she made of. And the only way you gonna figure that shit out is if years down the line, you just so happen to run into some pimping in there, you know what I mean, and you run your situation down to him, you know, and he get to understanding and learning how your pimping is. And he like, yeah, man, that's why you got caught up. You didn't even know what type of bitch you had. You didn't put her under no pressure. You didn't even charge her no choosing fee, did you? Nope. I just let her come. She said she wouldn't fuck with me. I'll let her come. That's another thing, man. That's another form of pressure, man. A lot of dudes are scared to put on the bra. You know, when she makes some sort of sacrifice, that's going to give you a good indication of what type of chick she is. That's a form of pressure. That choosing fee, man. That sacrifice. And that choosing fee supposed to be everything, by the way. You know, I know a lot of people put like a certain dollar amount on it. They might say they choosing fee is 5 bands or 10 bands or whatever, but you never know. The bra might be over there with 30. So what's she supposed to do with the other 20 if your choosing fee is 10? You dig? But yeah, man, all this over sweating shit, as y'all can understand, it's a lot of like ugly roots. It's a lot of contrary roots. That shit is rooted. That whole mindset, that outlook that gets people to say something about over sweating is rooted in something that's totally contrary to this lifestyle, contrary to this game. That's why a lot of you dudes don't be lasting, man. All you goofballs that be saying that over sweating, man, you over sweating the broad, or let her work and all this old shit, man. All you dudes who be saying that shit, that's why y'all be fading out the game 5 years. Most of y'all lifespan in the game is 5 years, man. After 5 years, don't nobody know where you at. Don't nobody know who you is. Don't nobody remember you. None of that. Yeah. Hey, man. Shout out to the ones that been around for a long time, man. That play this game right and got the right understanding of this shit, you dig? Game related. Good looking with the $1 holler, man. Joe Blast, good looking with the $5 holler. How you build such a powerful presence. Respect, Freeze. Hey, Joe Blast. It's a cat that I like to listen to. He's an author as well. He's a public speaker. He's authored a couple of books as well. His name is George C. Fraser. George C. Fraser, right? Powerful brother. Got a lot of game, got a lot of insight, right? Something that he said, and I just like the way he put it. It's something that we all kind of know. And basically what he said, you know, you are the company that you keep. The people that you spend the most time with, that's who you're going to be. You know, so people who's going nowhere, they want you to go nowhere with them. People that's losing, they want you to lose with them. People that's miserable, they want you to lose with them. Or they want you to be miserable with them. People that's failures, they want you to be a failure with them. So if these are the type of people that you spend all of your time with, that's who you're going to become. It's just natural. So, you know, on the flip side of that coin, you know, if you want to have a powerful presence, man, you know, we all know people like that. We all know people who have a powerful presence. Do your best to spend as much time around them as you can, right? Soak up game from being around them. It might be an uncle. It might be an older cousin. It might be your father. It might be your grandfather. It might be a coach of a sport that you played. It might just be, you know, an elder in the neighborhood. But we all know people like that, right? Spend as much time around them people as you can. And just naturally, you know, it'll develop. You know, fortunately, like I say all the time, man, I had my father around, man. And that was the biggest influence in my life. And, you know, it has a lot to do with the type of man that I am today. My pops, you did. So, yeah. Mr. Positive Motivation, good looking with the $20 holler. Mr. Reed, as always, good looking with the $50 holler. Oh, man, he back at it. Come with this game. You already know, man. Yeah. And again, I see it's 320 of y'all up in here, but only 284 y'all don't wipe your feet off at the door, man. Do a pimp a favor. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. What I mean by that, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, man, when you come up in here. Step outside the chat. Go hit that like button. Step back inside the chat. We're going to be right here. We ain't going nowhere, man. And put some of this good old love in your body, of course. Let me pull up again, man. There y'all go. We at 304. 304 with the likes, you dig? Yeah. 305 now, Miami with it. Douglas Collins, good looking with the $10 holler. Game on high, blessings from the sauce, or blessings for the sauce, and keep it coming because this generation needs you, P. I appreciate you, Doug. Good looking, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, you know, like I said, when it comes to this game, all this over sweating shit, basically ain't no such thing as over sweating. That's the moral of the story. The only quote unquote over sweating is if a cat is sweating a chick while she's engaging with a trick, engaging with a client, or, you know, if a cat is like touching her, or, you know, trying to bring harm to her or something like that, and she's in pocket. Now, see, speaking of being in pocket, right? if the chick get out of pocket, man, whatever happens, happens. You know, now of course you're not gonna let somebody go overboard with the consequences of her being out of pocket, you know, but I've had it happen to me. I've been popping it at a chick and she just get out of pocket immediately and say some disrespectful shit, call me out my name, you know, just get real foul out the mouth with me. And I barely even said 2 words to this chick. I didn't barely even get my point across, right? I've had this happen to me before. And then, you know, the saddest part of that is when you meet the guy that she's fucking with on the other end of the situation, he ain't no better than her. He don't even want to hear your side of the story. He don't want to know what she did. None of that. You know? But again, instructions, right? I instruct mine on how to be in pocket, right? I instruct mine on how to respect the pimping. You know? And respect the fact that he has a job to do. And this is just him doing his job. So respect him doing his job. As long as he's doing his job and he's not stepping outside the scope of his job, respect him doing his job. And just like he doing his job, I'm doing my job. The tricks around here is doing their job. Police doing their job. Everybody got a job to do, so you do your job too. And your job is to stay in pocket. Right? But so she has these instructions, right? And if she moves in spite of these instructions and, you know, undesirable consequences come with that, then that's on her. You know, if she has the understanding, she's been instructed on how to stay in pocket, and some pimping get at her and she get out of pocket with him and he goes to break on her because she's out of pocket with him, that's on her. That's her fault. She knew better. Because she knows that one of the consequences of getting out of pocket with pimping is him having the right now to break on her. See, this old school game, man, for these times, you know, but this is still a theory that I subscribe to. You know, 9 times out of 10, you know, for the young pimping, right? 9 times out of 10, if a chick get out of pocket with you and you go to break on her, she gonna say you robbing her. Her folks is gonna say you robbing her. But no, you just breaking on an out-of-pocket bitch, right? But what you got to understand, young pimping, is that everybody don't respect the game like that no more. Freeze still respect the game like that. So if Freeze peoples get out of pocket with you and you break on her, hey, Freeze gonna shake your hand and Freeze gonna thank you. Freeze gonna say thank you for upholding this game to the utmost, man. Thank you, pimp. Thank you for holding this game high, man. Thank you. You did. That's what I'm gonna do. If one of mine get out of pocket with you and you go for the breaking, man, hey, I'm gonna thank you. Because that's what I like to see. And that's what a lot of these cats, again, that's the bitterness that cats don't want to accept. But see, me, I'm so for the game, even in the bitterness of a situation like that, I can still find some sweetness in it. Because one thing it's going to do is going to make her respect the game better. You know, because even though somebody might be instructed on how to do something, some people got to learn the hard way, right? So some chicks, they might understand, okay, I don't need to get out of pocket with nobody because I ain't trying to get broke on. But then you got some chicks that's hard-headed, like, fuck that. Yeah, I got out of pocket. What you gonna do? Oh, damn. Oh, shit, he broke on me. Okay, damn. I ain't gonna get out of pocket no more. Because now I know that pimping definitely can and will break on me if I get out of pocket. So let me stay my ass in pocket. Unless I want to choose up with that man. If I want to choose up with him, then yeah, I'm gonna get out of pocket. But otherwise, I'm staying in pocket. Right? This come with instructions, man. That's the beautiful thing about instructions. But like I said, even in the bitterness of that situation, if one of mine get broke on for being out of pocket, I'm going to appreciate it. Because one thing it does is it makes her respect the pimping. It makes her respect the game. It shows her that the pimping ain't weak. It shows her that the pimping ain't no buster. Pimping is strong. Yeah, this all us. This the game. You're going to respect the game. You ain't going to just respect my pimping. You're going to respect all pimping. And it's not your place to figure out who's real pimping, who's fake pimping, who's big pimping, who's little pimping. That ain't your responsibility. That's none of your concern to try to figure that shit out. All you know is that if a motherfucker present themselves to you as some pimping, respect it. That's it. It ain't on you to pass judgment on the pimping. Bitch, who is you? Who is you to pass judgment on the pimping? Respect all this shit. And that's another problem that these over-sweating cats, these cats that say that you over-sweating they broad, that's another problem that they have. They don't respect all the pimping. Hey, it's cats in the game that I don't like, that I don't care for. But if they some pimping, I'm going to respect them. You know? I'm going to respect them. There's been situations where I knock somebody off that I don't really care for. I'm still going to respect him and get that man a phone call and let him know I got the bitch. Whereas you got some cats that's like, oh, the bitch come from him? Man, I ain't calling that man. Shit, fuck that. Nah, man, that ain't the game. You know, if that man is the pimping, whether you like him or not, man, respect him. But these cats that say you over sweating they broad, it's all about them. It ain't about the game. So they've turned the chick on to them instead of turning her out to the game. See, it's a major difference when you turn her out to the game, right? But when you turn her on to you, it's going to be totally different. She going to think that all she got to respect is you. She don't got to respect nobody else. I'm not paying them. That's the type of shit they be saying, too. I'm not paying you. Why I got to respect you? You ain't my folks. Because this is him. This is his mentality. This is the mindset that he's impressed upon her. This is the same type of dudes that be gossiping about other pimps in front of they hoes with other pimps. These are the type of guys that be gossiping about other pimps and down talking other pimps with her. I'm just curious, man, to all the ladies up in here. It ain't got to be pimping and hoeing. It could just be, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. How many of you ladies in here have been with a man that down talked another man to you? Let me see your hands. I'm curious. I know that shit common as hell nowadays. But one thing you ain't gonna catch Freeze doing, again, I might knock a dude who I don't really care for. I knock a chick and she tell me she come from such and such to P. And I already got a preconceived notion about such and such to P. I don't even respect him like that. I don't even think he the pimpin' for real. But I'm not finna down talk him with this broad. You know what I mean? I'm not finna do that. You know, because it make my manhood look weak. It make my pimping look weak. You know, that just ain't the thing, man. We don't do that. You know? Pimping ain't petty. I don't want to appear to be petty to this chick. Especially her, you know, introduction to me coming through the door is me being a gossiper like her. You know, that's what chicks do, man. We leave the gossip to them. We don't gossip with them. We don't gossip in front of them. We don't do the gossip, period, man. That ain't what the pimping do. That's petty. And as I've said before, you want to do your best to be godlike in front of this hoe every chance you get. How can you be godlike and you gossiping? with her or in front of her about the next man. You bad mouthing the next man to her or in front of her. Come on, man, that ain't godlike. That ain't got nothing to do with this game. You dig? But yeah, like I said, man, you know, bottom line, this over sweating thing, that over sweating thing is overrated. Over sweating is overrated, man. Ain't no such thing, man. You know, and if you don't want nobody saying nothing to your girlfriend, don't put her on the track, man. If you don't want nobody texting your girlfriend, don't post her ad on them sites, man, where she's trying to catch a date. Don't have her doing no in calls and out calls, man. If you don't want nobody, another pimp saying nothing to your broad, don't post no ad, man. If you don't want nobody saying nothing to your broad, don't send her outside. If you don't want nobody saying nothing to your broad, man, don't put her in the strip club, because pimping be up in there too. Everywhere you send her to get some money, man, the pimping is going to be there. If you post an ad, pimping is going to be there. If you send her in the strip club, pimping is going to be there. If you send her in the casino, pimping is going to be there. If you send her on the blade, pimping is going to be there. If you send her in the sewer, pimping is going to be there. If you send her in the jungle, pimping is going to be there. If you send her to the bottom of the ocean, pimping is going to be there. If you send her to the moon, pimping is going to be there. Wherever you send her, pimping is going to be there, and he going to have something to say to her, man. So if you don't want pimping saying nothing to your broad, don't send her nowhere. It's simple. And the cold part about it, a lot of you dudes, and that's a whole nother topic, but a lot of you dudes is out hustling and out trapping these broads that you sending. If you out hustling her and you out trapping her and you bringing in more money than she is, and she ain't even doing nothing while she down but socializing and you know, listening to Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and Stunner Girl in her phone the whole time she down, and she's so busy listening to that shit and looking at TikTok, her whole time on the blade, TikTok. If you sending her outside to do that and she ain't even getting no money, and meanwhile you trapping hard as a motherfucker, why is you sending her? Don't even send her anywhere. Keep her at the house. You know? If you don't want nobody saying nothing to her, man, don't send her. It's that simple, man. You dig? Yeah, man, they love TikTok. Y'all know that. They love being on TikTok, man. Freeze, what about hard sweating on the carpet? Again, man, that shit don't exist, man. If he not touching her, he not bringing harm to her, and he's not interfering with her getting to the money, man, ain't no hard sweating. Because, again, if she has instructions, there are ways out of this. If she got instructions, it's a way to get out of it. It's a way to get past it. When she don't have instructions, she gonna sit there like a deer in the headlights and be listening. And guess what? She might actually like what he got to say. You ever think about that? She might like what he got to say, man. What's wrong with that? Let her choose. This game's so crazy, man. Dudes just be trying to avoid getting knocked. That's all it is, man. They don't want to get knocked, man. But like I say all the time, man, the pimping get greater with every hoe that blow. So with every hoe that blow, you supposed to get better, man. You know how you think Sinful is as wise as he is when it comes to this game? How do you think Sinful is able to advise people about every type of situation that can take place in the game about this game? How do you think he got to that point? By hovering over hoes and protecting hoes and not letting nobody sweat them and not letting them choose when they get knocked. And you know what I mean? It's my baby. I'll never let her go. No, man. When they blow, they blow. And pimping get greater with every hoe that blow. Hey, man. I don't even know how many hoes I done been through. throughout my time in the game. I've been through a lot of them, man, and I get better every time. You know, and I evolve as time progresses. See, when I first got in the game, I wasn't the Freeze that you looking at and listening to right now. When I had my first hoe, I wasn't the Freeze that you looking at and listening to right now. I was a totally different Freeze. That Freeze was smoking weed. That Freeze was drinking alcohol. And that Freeze was eating McDonald's. Watch this. Speaking of McDonald's.
Hello?
What you doing?
I'm at home.
You at home? You all right?
Yeah?
Hey, what is one thing that you will never see your dad do?
Eat McDonald's.
Of course. Has your dad ever taken you to McDonald's?
No.
No. Has your dad ever taken anybody to McDonald's?
No.
In your whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I'll call you back in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, man. It's a known fact, man. Nowadays, Freeze don't have nothing to do with McDonald's. Nothing. I have nothing to do with McDonald's at all. You just heard it from my child. She already know. It's so far gone of a thought to ask me to take her to McDonald's. Her mom probably will take her to McDonald's. But she already know. Like, dad ain't fooling with McDonald's at all, right? But the Freeze, who was fresh in the game with his first hoe, that Freeze was eating McDonald's all the time. That Freeze was eating McDonald's. That Freeze was drinking. That Freeze wasn't working out. You know what I mean? That Freeze was green as hell. You know? Totally different Freeze. But so many hoes later, this is the Freeze that you're looking at and listening to now. You know? And the Freeze that works out now, the Freeze that eats right now, the Freeze that doesn't drink or smoke now, a lot of that has to do with different hoes that I've had. Because at one point in time, I saw the error in my ways when it came to drinking. At one point in time, I recognized how alcohol consumption affected my pimping. And I knew that I had to get rid of that in order to be a better pimp and a better man, period. Right? At one point in time, I saw that being out of shape, as y'all done seen some of y'all done seen my video, you know, Sex in the Mirror. When I was having sex with one of my hoes, and it was a mirror off to the side, you know, and I'm hitting it from the back, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm looking at her, and she looking good as hell. She fine as hell in this mirror. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean, I look in her eyes, and guess who she looking at? She looking at her too. You know what I mean? Ain't neither one of us looking at me. Because Freeze got a gut. Freeze face fat as hell. You know what I mean? Freeze chest Freeze ain't got the chest and the arms and the shoulders. Freeze ain't got none of that, man. Freeze just got a regular ass body with a gut and a fat ass face. So guess what, man? Me and the bitch, man, ain't neither one of us looking at Freeze, man. I'm looking at her and she looking at her. You dig? So, again, that experience showed me, hey, man, I got to get my body right, especially because I know I'm genetically superior as a melanated man. I'm genetically superior. So what am I doing fronting on my genetics like this? I'm supposed to be in shape. My body is supposed to be right. What am I doing, man? That experience with that hoe showed me, hey, man, you ain't got no business being out of shape, man. You know? So, even though some people might look at me and say, oh, yeah, you know, Freeze like to work out and eat healthy and everything, but that ain't got nothing to do really with the game. He probably just decided to do that just because. Or, you know what I mean, Freeze don't drink no more, but he probably just decided to do that just because. No, I did these things so I can be a better gentleman in the game. So I could be a better P. So I could be a better me. And like I said, pimping is who I am and what I am. So, you know, everything that you see, everything that you hear has to do with me being a better P, man. So, and all of this has to do with different experiences, you know, trial and error in the game. Right? So, yeah, man, you know, like I said, a pimp get greater with every hoe they blow. Even Sinful. Same thing, man. The changes that you've seen Sinful make in his life. Y'all seen that man lose 100 and something pounds. Y'all see that man, you know, whenever he feel like it, fruit and water. 100 days. You know, these all have to do with his experiences in the game. I know because that's my brother. You know what I mean? So I'm telling y'all, I can say that with confidence because I know him and I've been there with a lot of his experiences in the game firsthand, right? So I know that the Sinful to P that you hear and see today, just like the Freeze that you hear and see today ain't the Freeze that you would have seen and heard in 07. It's the same thing with Sinful. The Sinful to P that you see and hear today, that's not the Sinful to P that you heard and saw back in 07. Sepova the Prince is up in here. He know. You know what I mean? Totally different guy. He's evolved. And a big part of that evolution is going through hoes, man. Not tripping, not sweating whenever they ready to blow. Letting them go, man. But doing your best to keep them with pimping. You know what I mean? Don't try to keep the hoe with protecting her from other P's and instructing him on what to do because you can't instruct her on what to do. Yeah, that's what a lot of you guys want to do, man. You want to tell me what to do because you don't know how to tell her what to do. You don't know how to tell her to stay in pocket. You don't know how to tell her how to stay in pocket. Why she should stay in pocket. You don't know how to tell her none of that. So you want to tell me to leave her alone. No. Why don't you tell her how to tell me without opening her mouth to leave her alone? Why don't you tell her to tell me with her hoeing and her conduct to leave her alone? That's what you should do. But because you ain't going through hoes like that, you ain't getting greater with every hoe that blow. Because you scared to let them blow. You scared to do your job and then confidently put them out there into the world, knowing that, you know, if they do stick around, it's because you did your job. And if they blow, oftentimes because you did your job. Yeah, because a lot of times, man, that hoe gonna blow because you pimped accordingly. And she don't want no pimping. She want a boyfriend. You know what I mean? She want a Dr. Scholl's situation. She wants somebody with some soft shoes. You know? She don't want no pressure. She don't want to get mashed on. She don't want to, you know, become a diamond. Or a busted pipe. She don't want none of that. She don't want to figure out who and what she is. She just likes the situation. Because in her mind, it feel good. You did? But once she get to seeing what's going on and she recognize that you pimping accordingly, you know, she gonna get on. And a lot of times you dodge a bullet by pimping accordingly and pimping her away. You know, because she can't handle the pressure of getting pimped on. You did? But because you want to play Kevin Costner, you want to bodyguard her from the game. You want to bodyguard the chick from all the other gentlemen in the game, from the Sharks and the Wolves in the game. You know, you're not going through hoes the way a pimp is supposed to. And because you're not going through hoes the way a pimp is supposed to, you're not getting greater with every hoe that blow. You're not evolving the way you're supposed to. You know, you trying to keep girlfriends, man. Hold on. Yeah, man. But the bottom line, ain't no such thing as over sweating. Again, I'm not really the type of guy to jump out my car and walk a chick down on the blade. I'm not saying I've never done it. I have done it on occasion, but it's not something that I do often, right? But you got other guys that do that often. Just because it's not something that I'm really into doesn't mean that I'm gonna get mad at the next man for being that way. You know? Because some cats get down like that and it works for them. You know? It really does. But the bottom line is, man, if you get into pimping, because this pimping is like, it's really a sport, man. And if you want to be the top pimp, like, you know, an NBA player wants to be the top basketball player, or an NFL player wants to be the top football player, if you want to be the top pimp, you're going to get into pimping. And you're going to pride yourself on pimping accordingly and pimping to the best of your ability. And when you pride yourself on pimping accordingly, pimping to the best of your ability, you don't worry about what the chick doing while she down. You don't worry about who's sweating her while she down, how hard they sweating her. You know what I mean? Are they hard sweating her? Are they over sweating her? You know what I mean? Are they under sweating her? You know what I mean? Are they medium well sweating her? Medium rare sweating her? You know, well done sweating her? You know, you're not, when you pimping accordingly, man, you're not worried about all that type of stuff. You just do your job. You send them out there to do their thing. And then on top of that, when you pimping accordingly and you send them with the right instructions, you got shit to do. As the pimping, you got things to do, man. You don't have time to sit around and babysit this chick. You know, she on the corner right there doing her thing, and you parked 3 cars away from her, watching her every move and watching the pimping's every move. You don't have time to do that. And that's so, like, that's such a strenuous thing to be doing. You know, it's only 1,440 minutes within a day, man. Like, how you gonna waste time doing that? That's a waste of time. It's so many more other productive things that you could be doing with your time instead of playing daycare to Pete with this chick, man. There's a lot of things that you could be doing. Great things with your time. That right there is non-productive. You're not even giving her a chance to follow the instructions. Because soon as she you're not giving her no instructions, let alone giving her a chance to follow them. You know, pimp ain't got time for that type of shit, man. You dig? But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the shares. I appreciate you all subscribing. I appreciate you hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate your support in every which way that you come with it, man. Y'all already know how we get down, man. Freeze is it. If you have not wiped your feet off at the door before we get up out of here, man, step outside the chat real quick. Hit that thumbs up button. Step back inside the chat. You dig? Go ahead and put some of this good old love juice in your body. You know this shit gonna love you even when you don't love it. Even if you hate yourself, this shit can't do nothing but love you. This shit don't know how to do nothing but love you. This shit is like that puppy dog you got. Those of y'all that got puppies, and all the puppy want to do is lick on you and play with you and show love to you. That's how this shit is. You know what I mean? Or that child, you know what I mean? That baby of yours, you know, that's a toddler or younger, newborn, whatever. All they want is love and affection from you. All they want to do is love you. Hey, man, that's how this love in this glass is, man. All this shit right here gonna do is love you, man. When don't nothing else in the world fuck with you, this shit right here, nigga, this shit right here, it's gonna love you, man. How could you not fuck with it? I'm out, man. Y'all do it safely, peacefully. If y'all out moving around, please do so in a safe fashion, man. Best of blessings to y'all, and I'll holler.